how did you become successful? The first question, growing up, what was your love? What was your passion?
What was my love and what was my passion? My love and passion as a young child, are we talking before 10?
Well, yes.
Yes. I want to be a superhero. I thought at some point in your life, I had such a vivid imagination, and at some point I thought I could fly. And I was constantly like jumping off walls and fences because I thought I wanted to fly. I'd seen Superman when I was really young, and I wanted to be a superhero. So, as a young kid, I wanted to grow up to be a superhero. So that was my question. That was my passion, becoming a superhero.
Are there any parts of this social studies that you have difficulty covering or explaining?
Difficulty? I guess I would say not a difficulty. I really enjoyed covering it. Slavery, the period of slavery in America. I think it was a really dark time for America. But working with, quite frankly, being a white teacher and teaching students of color and other different backgrounds, you worry sometimes that you're coming off in an inappropriate way covering slavery. I love it because I think slavery is a negative part of American history, without a doubt, a very dark time. But I think if we learn about it, especially students learn about it, that we won't repeat our mistakes. The idea that outlawing where we came from as a country, out of that darkness, and moving forward, because civil rights continually is an issue for not only minority groups, but women, talking about modern day gay rights in regards to marriage, things like that. So I really did, in college I took a concentration in the slave system, slavery, when I took my American history, degree. So that's a fascinating time. Do I find it difficult? Sometimes I do, because some of the content is pretty, to say, graphic, in regards to what, especially like something like the Middle Passage, how human beings were just stacked like cordwood in a boat to take a 6-week or 2-month journey across the ocean. It's pretty crazy for me as an educator and a person that human beings would do that to us.
During your high school years, was learning about U.S. history difficult or easy?
I think I always was fascinated with dates and times in high school. It definitely was difficult because there's a lot of memorization of content. Tests, I wasn't always a good test taker, so I really had to study my notes. Taking very good notes in my history classes, I remember as being a very important part, because there was a lot of names, dates, content, events, and when you were asked to take tests on it, you had to regurgitate, what did this guy do, how is it connected to history. It didn't come easy. I had to study. So I wasn't naturally smart, I was more book smart in the sense of reading and practicing my notes.
Do you have any hobbies that pertain to academics?
Hobbies? If I had to say my hobby in regards to expanding, my hobby that connects to academics would be expanding my students' understanding of the world through my community service project. So the idea of bringing outside organizations into the school, like Allen A&E Soup Kitchen, the Blood Drive, the AIDS Walk, anything that helps students see learning outside of these 4 walls of my classroom, I pride myself. I would consider that a hobby. And presently, me and Ms. Haywood and the rest of the administration are trying to develop an externship program for juniors and seniors to go out of the building for credit to specific locations around Queens and New York City, the 5 boroughs, to get externship experiences. So anything I can do to enhance or expand a student's understanding the world they live in, the community they live in, and what impact they have on that community, I think I would consider an academic hobby. So I really enjoy that, and it's to say to my little baby, because every year expanding that ability for students, I pride myself on.
During your late teens, what part-time jobs interested you?
Part-time jobs. Well, in my late teens, I worked in restaurants. I started out as a salad guy who I'd make salads on a line, a restaurant line. I'd make the salads, and then through the summer, there was a summer job, part-time, meaning I didn't work in the year, but I worked in the summers. I worked at places on the east end of Long Island, Lockhouse, Chardin, Barrister's restaurant, and that was really the experience I got. I went from salad guy to sandwich guy to the grill chef, and then the sous chef who made like all the pastas and the the different dishes for the patrons. So restaurants definitely was what I did for my part-time.
When you were in your first 4 years of college, what did you aspire to be?
I wanted to be a real estate tycoon. I thought the way to your happiness ultimately was real estate. I was interested in any facet of real estate. I love the idea of buying and selling real estate, owning homes, property, architecture, which if I wasn't a teacher, it probably would have been the other career I might have pursued, but I really didn't feel like that strong at now. But real estate is another passion of mine in regards to my expectations out of 4 years of school. Hindsight, I should have been more concerned on the other birdie on my shoulder. Real estate over here, finding huge wealth in real estate, and my other bird was education, becoming a teacher. And I just didn't think teachers made money. Because unfortunately, in my 4 years of college, all I thought about was becoming rich. I didn't really think about how many careers I would have until I finally settled on, the calling of being a teacher. So, to be quite honest, it was being a real estate tycoon, making millions in real estate. That was my plan in 4 years of college. But I had a passion for history, so I took a history major with a business minor.
How long have you taught U.S. history?
I've taught U.S. history now, good question, on and off. I would say out of my 12 years of teaching, I would say 6, on and off, 6 years of U.S. history.
What words do you have to say to a guy or girl in their late teens and they do not know what they want to do in life and they are uncertain?
Stay in school, get as much education as you possibly can, see the world, get out of, if we're talking specifically about QPA students, travel. If you have an opportunity to get outside of New York, outside of the tri-state, experience life in other areas or other parts of the country. If you have the ability to travel overseas, even better. But seeing how other people live and getting involved in your community, if you're not sure what you want to do for a career, try as many possible things. Give of your time to children, give of your time to your community, but traveling too. And talking to family members, really seeing what other people do. Trying everything out. Don't just sit home on the couch and watch TV if you don't know what you want to do. Because you're not going to learn anything, you're not going to move forward doing that. I have a 20-year-old son who's in his third year of college. Still has no idea what he wants to do for a major. And I say, look, I'm not expecting you in this day and age, try everything. Take a whole bunch of classes and see where you want to go. To follow that up, I started out in real estate out of college. I went into sales. I went back into restaurants full time as a waiter. Then I took a job as working for a car rental company. Then from there, I went for 5 years. I worked with a company selling cars overseas. Then I left that job, and I went and I worked for New Horizons Computer Learning Center, and found out that I really didn't want to be in sales anymore at that point. And I quit one day, walking to work and quit while my wife was away in Europe on a cruise. My fiancée, we were saving up for a wedding. So when she came back, I quit my job. She tried calling me at my desk, I wasn't there. And she got back, you quit your job. I said, yeah, couldn't do it. So that summer I signed up for education courses, and history is, the rest is history. I never stopped being in education from that point that was 2001, maybe even 2000, and this journey 2001 to 2013 now, being a teacher, that's where it was. But I think your original question was, what was your suggestion? Be try everything, travel, explore what you want to do. You know, what is your own going to find out they do it. Sorry.
At age 18, how big of a deal was Tom being to you?
At 18, I was in college. Very important. Because in order to get all my assignments done in the classes that I was taking, I did have to be organized in regards to my work schedule, my play schedule, my social schedule, my workout schedule. At that time, my college had a really awesome athletic center. I didn't do sports, but I like to work out. Swimming, we had a swimming pool, a gym, a track, tennis, I like to play tennis. So fitting all that in was very important. And when you say 18, I'd already been in college for a little time. So I learned, like say that was my junior year in college, I realized that at that point, in order to get all my grades up, and do well, I had to really concentrate on doing the best work I possibly could. I also, at 18, I also was studying abroad. So talking about that idea of getting away from America and seeing America from a different point of view and experience the world with travel, I was lucky enough to do a study abroad program in London. I took 4 classes there, got credit in my college for those classes, but every Friday we had off, so every weekend we took trips around Europe and around England and learned all about their culture and their history. And that was really fascinating. That, I think, also solidified my love of history. Okay?
What is your definition of success?
Success. Someone who, I guess, loves and works really hard at a goal. Someone who sets goals for themselves and creates a plan to achieve those goals. To follow that up, if someone decides what they really love to do, and they do it to the fullest of their ability, and dedicate and time manage themselves to do it the best they can, and they feel at the end of those goals that they've achieved something, I find that to be success. Working hard through those goals in that plan to ultimate success of attaining that goal is what I find to be successful. There might be struggles along the way, there might be positives, there might be negatives, but I feel success is that journey from point A to point B. It's not always easy, but to finally accomplish something, even if it was hard, and to come out in a better place at the end, I see that as success.
Okay. That's all.
It's been a pleasure. Hopefully that helps you guys.